So will this week be a good week for the equity markets? Well, European stocks and US futures have started the week on the front foot, and safe havens such as the US dollar and gold are under pressure as traders prepare for a key week with the US China trade talks, central bank rate decisions, and US tech stock earnings. So US President Trump said that the US and China are set to agree a trade deal when he meets his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping this week. Over the weekend, top US and Chinese trade negotiators have been working on a range of contentious points, paving the way for Trump and Xi Jinping to finalize a deal to ease those trade tensions that have been rattling through global markets. A deal could remove the risk of steeper US trade tariffs and China's rare earth export controls, potentially lifting sentiment and stocks. Now, investors are also awaiting major central bank meetings this week for further cues over monetary policy, while there are rate decisions from the Bank of Canada, the ECB, the Bank of Japan. The focus will no doubt be on the Federal Reserve, which is widely expected to cut rates by 25 basis points, supported by softer than expected inflation data on Friday. However, the ongoing US government shutdown means that the Fed is flying somewhat blind. Now, we did have that inflation data on Friday that was cooler than expected, but there's no new data other than that. So the Fed could actually adopt a more of a cautious stance towards further rate cuts, which potentially could dampen optimism surrounding a December rate cut that the market is expecting. So a hawkish cut by the Fed could actually put pressure on US stocks and more broadly risk sentiment. Now, if that wasn't enough to be dealing with, earnings season also ramps up. This week is the busiest week for Q3 earnings, which includes earnings from 5 of the Magnificent Seven. Now, these are the firms are critical drivers of earnings growth and account for a significant share of the S&P 500's market capitalization, making their earnings key. So whilst Tesla reported last week, this week we've got Alphabet, Meta, and Microsoft reporting after the close on Wednesday. Apple and Amazon are reporting after the close on Thursday. Now, AI investment and returns on this investment will be a key theme to watch. Beyond the Magnificent Seven, there are 173 S&P 500 companies that are scheduled to report, but with stocks trading around record highs, that means that the expectations are high and the market is going to want to see the fundamentals to support these lofty valuations, which does mean that potentially any sense of disappointment does increase the risk to the downside.